whatever. The interesting one was the fact that New York City is accommodating, becoming a home to a lot of these fake humans that we have right now. Lizards posing as humans. I'm sure Obama has an apartment there. They're all congregating there. It's becoming a haven, a full haven of fake humans in New York City. And a lot of them are going to get this necrosis. And so this whole city is going to reek of this putrefying odor of death, because when you have this necrosis, you're like the Walking Dead. You just smell dead, and it's just a slow decay of your skin and your tissues and your organs until it kills you. It's a very slow death, and it's a very stinky one. And so New York City is just going to be full of these people that are suffering from this necrosis because they're not really human. And so what happens is they destroy it. They destroy it. Maitreya destroys it. What I've seen is Asia is involved. I've seen where India, the United States will hire India to blow up their own city. Yeah, Hillary, always the pro-American, and Obama. They'll blow up New York themselves. They'll have Iran or India do it. They'll hire India to do it. Another thing is Maitreya doing it himself in retaliation. The United States won't bend to his demands. We're probably at war with India or something, and Maitreya has something to do with nuking New York City. And so it's always centered around Asia at this point, with India, with China, with Iran, and a nuclear bomb hitting New York City. That's a plan B, this nuclear bomb hitting, and it causes pretty much instant blindness to a majority of the people that are in New York City. And New York City is a big city. There's 7 different little islands on this thing, and so somehow the entire city's wiped out. I mean, there's nothing left, and what is left is it becomes a habitation of devils, and so not all buildings are destroyed. It's just simply that all the people are. The people will be destroyed. And New York City is going to become a habitation of devils, and no one will ever inhabit that city again. And so something to think about, because even the Lord says that His bride, His name, His voice, His bride will no longer be heard in that city again. So even the 144,000 who are sealed on earth to become witnesses for the Lord during the tribulation period won't even go there. They won't even be in New York City. So perhaps it's the radiation, or just the fact that it just becomes uninhabitable. But the Lord, none of the Lord's people, or even Himself, will ever have a thing to do with New York City again once it's destroyed. So something interesting. If you're in New York City, you might want to get out. It's just becoming a habitation for devils as it is. Just so much of it. And so, yeah, it's not something I'd want to be holding on to if I had a house in New York City. Also, the coastlines, folks. Got to get away from the coastlines. Another interesting country I keep seeing in the codes is Japan. So I don't know if something's going to hit Japan, like a tsunami's going to hit it, or I don't know what's going to hit Japan. It just keeps popping up, you know. It's like Maine. You see Maine, and I don't know what's going on with Maine, and I don't know what's going on with Japan, but they're both always in the codes. I did dig out Alabama when I saw that, obviously, because I have supporters in Alabama. And there's a lot of Lord's people in Alabama. I hear from people that live in Alabama, and so I care about Alabama. And so, if this thing falls in Alabama, it's just Chinese satellite. It's loaded with the plague, and you got to think that these falling satellites are nothing but some kind of a bioterror attack from the Chinese. Because the one in Peru was laden with the plague, making people sick. And say, oh, it's just radiation because it's a satellite. A satellite loaded with the bioterrorism plague. And it's the same thing with this one that will fall in Alabama. So stay away from it, folks. Just don't go near it. You know, if they really want that area that bad, just get away from it. If Katrina didn't knock your shoes off a little bit, just get away with it. Get away from it. Because sooner or later, you know, when the Lord shakes this whole land with an earthquake, that Mississippi River is going to split the country in half, and it's going to lose that whole area down there again, all over again. And so just get away from it. People ask me what the safest places to live are. And I'll tell you right now, it's from the Rocky Mountains to the Mississippi River. Of course, you don't want to get right up on the Mississippi River, because St. Louis would just go in when the earth splits. But you're looking at the central part of this country. You've got, and these are the northern parts, folks, from central to the northern parts of the state of New Mexico, the extreme northern part of Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas. I wouldn't be in southern part of Texas with Houston. That's going to go under the water. Phoenix is even iffy. California's going to be gone. Nevada's going to be gone. Parts of Oregon will be gone, and Washington, all the way up the coastline there. Idaho would be a safe haven. You got to get in this Rocky Mountain range, folks. You got Idaho, Utah, Colorado, Wyoming, South Dakota, Nebraska, Kansas, Iowa, the western half of Missouri, the western half of Arkansas. This whole area, get out a map and just circle it. And on the other part of the Mississippi River, you're going to have parts of Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, Kentucky, the eastern part of Tennessee, the northern part of Missouri and Alabama, the northern parts. Because that whole Appalachian range, folks, the whole Appalachian Mountains, pretty much going to be probably a border, our new East Coast border. And so a lot of people setting up these safe havens in the Appalachian Mountains, I wouldn't do it, because unless you're on the other side, like the Kentucky side or the Tennessee side or West Virginia side, because all of those coastal states are going to go under. They're going to go under. We're going to lose our East Coast. We're going to lose our West Coast. And parts of the South, Arizona, the bottom half of New Mexico, the bottom half of Texas, Louisiana, Missouri, Alabama, Georgia, all of Florida. We're going to lose all the way around the coastlines here. And so the safest place to be is in the center of the country. And one of the things that stuck out at me as I was looking at this is something that hit my spirit, that the Lord protects His people in the high and the dry places. And so you'd want to hit the mountains or the deserts. Because that's where He keeps His people. That's how He protects them. It's where He protects them, in the high and the dry places. Another thing I'm noticing of interest is some kind of chlorination, chlorine going on in the water of New York City. Actually has something to play a part with their blindness. I don't know if they're blind to the fact that their water's being chlorinated, or it causes blindness. I don't know. It's one or the other. But found it interesting that the Bible codes would pull that out as a specific, that they are bleaching, chlorinating the water in New York City. Could play a part in a lot of the death of people that are there too, contaminating the water supply. And so just a lot of icky things coming. Our year to prepare was over in 2008, and now we're in 2007, and now in 2008, any number of things are going to be happening. It's time to step up and realize that, hey, we're in the tribulation period. It started. Most people will just never realize we're in it, because they've been led to believe